listeners, and welcome to episode 374 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for May 21st, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nixon, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
All right, so I'm not recording on my computer, so it may sound different. I'm recording from my phone, and because it's very hot in my room, and because we got some 90-degree days happening this weekend, starting from yesterday to tomorrow. Then we go back down a bit to like 70-something, which is going to probably feel almost like winter compared to what the hell we're going to be going through. So, yeah. I'm just going to kick it off and just start it right off here. I mean, of course, that tragedy that happened like on the day we recorded the podcast. Well, probably right just after, really, because we probably ended around like 2. I think it happened around 3 o'clock that day. The shooting up in Buffalo in a grocery store by very like a racist white boy or man, whatever you want to say. He was 19. And yeah, that was just goddamn horrible. I was like, God, like when did I hear about it? It wasn't until I think that night. I think someone told me, like, say, hey, you see the shooting? And I said, what? And I turned into the news, and I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I said, it was just pretty shocking. And then when I read, like, actually saw some of his manifesto and shit like that, because they've been taking the video down, but you know, it's out there somewhere if you want to see it. I haven't seen it, but
yeah, because he was like live streaming on Twitch or something, right?
Yeah, he was live streaming it. And so the manifesto, like, this is not a dude who's crazy or something. I mean, crazy doesn't mean you're not smart, but this is a dude reading that stuff. He knew what he was doing. Like, he had a lot of points, even points I hear people talk about, you know, normally on YouTube or social media somewhere. Yeah. Like, he was going, he knew exactly what he was doing. He totally understood what he was doing or how things are going down. And I was like, oh yeah, this ain't an insane dude. You can't say like, oh, he's just a guy who has mental issues and need help. No. He's perfectly, I mean, put like this, if he's mental, then a lot of people in Capitol Hill are mental too. Then I mean, shit. And a lot of the people, like a lot of people, it's a lot more mental people out there than you know. Like most of the population is. Then I guess because this guy don't seem like he's mental. The problem I think he has is not really mental, but he's disillusioned to believing that we're going to replace them. Right. And I'm like, I don't know if you know black birth rates. First of all, our population and our birth rates, they're not higher than yours. So
knowing actual statistics and facts, Dominic. This dude definitely doesn't know any of that.
We are replacing you. And then if anything, he kind of contradicts himself by saying how he went after blacks because they said, how you feel about the Jews and stuff. They said, like, I guess he doesn't like them either, but it was easier to go after us first, like start from the bottom because we have no political power. So that should just tell you right there, like, how we will replace you. We have no political power. Exactly. And we're not growing in political power. I mean, the people you see, your faces you see up there, they're just faces. Right. They're like they ain't doing nothing. They get better. That's what's kind of funny. It's like, where y'all get this information? Because I wish some of that stuff y'all say was true. Because I sure ain't seeing it. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, what the hell? See, y'all just watch. I think y'all just watching TV. That's why. Y'all watching TV and thinking that's real. And that shit ain't real. That like, none of that shit is real. All right, yeah. So, yeah, most of us do not live like the people in Blackish. Like, that is a very small percentage of us. Basketball players, football players, that's a very small percentage. Also, I mean, come on. But anyway, yeah, that was pretty fucked up. Anything else you want to say?
No, I think I'm right there with you. It's just a messed up situation entirely, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not, and that's the thing. Like with that, I mean, yes, I do want better gun laws. Like I do. Like the gun here. I don't know what it was, but that type of rifle. I mean, no average citizen should have that. There's no need for it.
Yeah.
Like there's absolutely no need for it. Like you're not going hunting with that because you're not going to shoot up a deer. Fucking using an assault rifle.
You're gonna ruin the deer.
You fucking yeah. You ruin the meat. And then even you say I'm still going to eat it. You know how many bullets you got to take out of that shit? It's like oh God. It's like, come on, man. It's like it's no need. Like, why does a normal citizen need that gun?
Because it's cool.
We'll get an airsoft gun. Okay.
I did find out from work that there are like airsoft rifles, but like miniguns. And it's like, yeah, if that's the thing, then why not just go that route?
Yeah, but they can
also,
hurt. But
have they seen what the cool Nerf people have come up with? Like, come on, this stuff's great.
I'm trying to think. I mean, see, I don't watch cartoons like that on regular TV where they have commercials. So, do these? I mean, I haven't seen water guns, but the Nerf guns. But then again, like I said, I haven't watched. So maybe they are commercials. But I just remember as a kid, you used to see them all the time. I mean, you've seen a whole lot of guns, like water guns, super soakers. Nerf.
I wonder if part of that is like selling to a different demographic now. Like the things that they are selling now are like almost like, okay, we're selling these to adults. Even like when they were doing the Halo stuff. Like it's not necessarily kids that are buying that stuff, or like the alien gun. You know, one of the guys at work was telling me
definitely.
It's
yeah.
Like, none of these kids are looking at that like, oh, a cool thing from a movie from the 80s.
Alien, and plus it's like Alien's a rated R movie, first of all, and then like I don't know kids like today really know that. Like the movies that come out lately about aliens, they sucked.
They're like that Adrian Brody movie? Or was that Predator?
Well, not that. That's Predator.
Yeah.
Or Predators with the S.
Yeah.
But yeah, what we had was Prometheus and whatever the hell that shit was called afterwards. So, speaking of that, I did see that recently. I'll talk about that what we watch, if I remember.
Prometheus?
But anyway, yeah. Yeah. No, not Prometheus. No, I saw Alien.
Covenant?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
Because it came on like one of those regular TV stations. Uh-huh. And then I saw Alien Resurrection. Okay. It went from the good Alien all the way to a bad one. And I was like, God damn, man, you didn't even go to 2? You at least gone to 3. I mean, 3 wasn't great either, but I would rather have seen that.
Yeah. Okay,
so yeah, let's get down to sports. Oh, no, darn, I forgot my point. My point was about the gun thing is that, yes, we need to take the gun laws, but if you, like I said, reading that manifesto, that's not the problem. Like, the problem is the people who think like this.
Yeah.
Like with him. And people who believe in that. Because, that's not just like, the small percentage. No, that's a lot of people who think like this. They think that that's a problem. Like, what's going on? Like, maybe not to the point where they're going to go out and kill, but there is to a problem where they, like, hey, we got to do something about what's happening because our race is, like, we're losing out to these minorities. And our race is going extinct or some shit. Like, people really believe that.
Yeah, and it feels like, I mean, that's the problem, right? Is like, it feels like nowadays those ideas are becoming more and more mainstream.
Yeah, very mainstream. Yeah, very mainstream. Yeah, I remember my dad used to tell me this. He told me this years ago when I was like in middle school or something. Like, he said, man, white people think this. I was like, I don't know, Dad. I don't know if white people think this. How you know that? Like, he was not lying. I was like, wow, white people really think, like, minorities, like, they're losing out to us. I was like, darn, man, because I don't feel like we wouldn't.
Exactly.
I was like, what the hell? What has got? It's like, what are they? I mean, politically, that's like that's your own people, though. That's the thing. Any politics you don't like, it's the white person who pushed it through. So I don't know I don't get it.
Yeah.
But just because like a population, like you think, all these Hispanics are coming. Yeah, but how much power do they have right now? That's what I'm looking at. I was like, I mean, they're doing some changes, but is it really like maybe it's just weird. I mean, not well. I guess it's not really weird. It's just like people don't really know the real statistics. That's the thing. Like you said, they don't really know the real data. Like people don't know the real data out there, and it's the government's fault too with that because they hide. I mean, it's not so much they hiding it. They're not really. It's like there's someone hiding. It's out there, but they're not really speaking on it.
Yeah.
Like the political, like the politicians.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously there are some that take advantage of that fact, right? But then, the ones that should be countering that, I don't know. They're not using that stuff in any meaningful
They're not using
way.
it. It's exactly. I'm thinking it's almost like, okay, so this is almost. Are y'all working together in a way to not say certain things, or y'all want to? Or is it like you want to keep having those arguments, because that's a good way to get elected by still having these same damn arguments?
Or do they think by not crossing that line, there's still a chance that those people might vote for them, right? Like, I can still get these. Oh, they're in between voters when in reality, no, they aren't. They're racist. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so let's get down right into sports. Basketball. None of the teams that I thought were going to be in the finals are going to be in the finals. I had the repeat of last year happening. Mm-hmm. I mean, Milwaukee did have a guy injured, one of their key players, not their best player, but he is their number 2, Middleton. So that didn't help them, but they had a chance. They still had a chance to beat Boston, but Boston won. And as far as those two teams, I think the better team did win. I think Boston was the better team. Also, look, it's Doctor Strange. I'm watching. I have the
window.
No. I have the old Incredible Hulk cartoon on, and Doctor Strange just appeared on it.
So you have the yellow gloves.
So, yes.
Okay.
Yes, he do.
He needs to put those back on.
Because first I'm trying to make sure that wasn't his. It's not really yellow. It's like orangish.
Yeah.
In this one. So anyway, now you have Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks, man. I mean, that's the big one. And that's somebody did a joke saying, the NBA, they are doing a good job because they got Luka looking really good. Like he's been looking great. He's been looking the best. He's probably the best player in these playoffs. As far as excitement and everything. I mean, he probably is the best player. Mm-hmm. Like the guy played since he was 14 in the professional league over in Europe. So this guy has played with grown men for a very long time. I don't know how old he is now, but I mean, and he's great, man. I mean, he is great, and so a lot of people are saying, he's the next great white hope, the next Larry Bird. And it's like, man, this is good for the NBA because they're going to get the MAGA people to come back. Because you don't get them.
He's still European.
Huh?
He's still European.
He's white.
Yeah.
But he's white.
Yeah, but there's a difference there.
Daniel, there's a difference, but it's not that much different, Dan.
I guess.
White is white. Dude, yo. I'm sorry.
I mean, as an American, I don't know that those people are looking at him like, we got it back.
Not from what I've seen online.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of white, but most of the people who really speak big on him are white. And these ain't European white people.
Well, but are they also the same people that you're talking about, like the MAGA people? They aren't those people.
Nah, I think are they MAGA? No. But I think they're... I'm sorry. I think a lot of white people are a little racist right now. I mean, they ain't got to be MAGA racist, but I think when they hear slavery, they shrivel up or see or they hear say, hey, this guy's racist. They'd be like, is he really racist? It's like, just say, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just a difference of opinion. He's not racist. Yeah, man. I don't know that. I think at this, they'll put like this.
I was gonna say they'll take anything at this point.
Comfortable. It's not really anything. It's just that it's not a black Arab dude.
Well, that's what I mean.
So, I mean, they'll take him even over the Africans that are doing very well in the league.
It's one of us,
like Embiid.
that what it is?
I mean, they like them though. I mean, they're good guys. I mean, Embiid, he's kind of a dick sometimes, but I mean, he's just I mean, it's like he's not like a bad guy like that. I mean, it's just sports wise, something like that. Like, it's not really a bad person.
He's not going to give you too much attitude.
Yeah, exactly. Like off the camera, like he's not that type. He's not. I never heard anything really bad about him. So, but yeah, so you got Luka, and then you have the guy who won MVP was was it the Joker? What's his name? Jokic. I know it's Jokic. Yeah. So and he's European. He's the other white dude. So that I think they're taking it back, Daniel. They are y'all taking it back. Get your basketball back
when we had peach hoops or whatever.
The old 50s. Yeah. To the peach baskets. To the peach.
Very solid.
I was just joking, but no. I think it's more of seeing that this league is very international now. Like, it's very international because even the other top guys who were probably up for MVP, like Embiid, he's from, I think, Nigeria. And then you have the Greek freak, Giannis, who's from Greece, and I think he's of, I don't know if he's of Nigerian descent or some other African country, but he is, yeah. But then you have, a lot of the top guys. You have Luka, you have the Joker. They're all international, and that's good for the league. That's good. Like, I mean, basketball we already know is coming big, and man, it's just going up as far as that, as far as a world sport. So I think, I mean, that's good for the league. I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean, I'd say, man, the more the merrier. I mean, football is just very complicated. Well, American football is just a little more complicated, and it costs more money. Basketball doesn't cost as much money, to do. Just like soccer. Soccer don't cost that much money. So that's why it's easier to have a lot of countries get into that sport. And I think next is like basketball. And then, I don't know, what's the next cheapest one after that? I guess one of those Olympic sports that nobody really cares about. But that's real cheap. I don't know, volleyball or something. But anyway, but yeah. So, they're playing the Warriors. Dallas playing the Warriors. And the Boston Celtics are playing against what are they playing against? The Miami Heat. So far, that series is tied with Boston. Boston is 1-1. Miami won the first one. Boston won the second one because they got their players back. They had the players out their first one. And when they came back, they just beat up on Miami. And I was like, darn, that sucked. And it's actually 2-0 for the Warriors, though. They won the first game. That game was horrible. The second game was a lot better, but the Warriors came back. They were down by 19 and came back and won. So that maybe Dallas can do something at home. They've been very good at home. Luka, I mean, he does what he does. I think he had 42 the last game, but they still didn't win. I mean, it's kind of hard to stop him. I mean, they did. I don't know if they really stopped in the first game, but he was just shooting bad. I don't know. But the Warriors won. I think the Warriors are going to win. I think it's going to be the Warriors versus, I actually don't know. I want to say Boston. I want to say it'll be Boston and the Warriors playing against each other. But I don't know if Miami, they can win. I think it's a toss-up between those two teams. But I think I was going to say Warriors and Boston will win. I have, no team I'm rooting for, really. I can't even think of a team I like or dislike. So I don't really care. I just want to see some good games. That's all I want to see. I just want to see some good games and just enjoy them. Baseball, I know Orioles was on a little losing streak. As of from the last podcast when we recorded, they lost 5 in a row maybe, but then they won the last 2. Both games by walk-offs, walk-off home runs. And so you had the first one was Santander. I forgot how you pronounce his name. Anthony Santander. And Odor was the second game, and that went to extra innings. That went to, what inning was it? 14th? 13th? I forget. I think it was the 13th. It was something. It went long. but they beat the Yankees the first one, so they didn't get swept by the Yankees, and then they won the first game against Tampa Bay, which apparently they had lost 15 straight to them.
God.
Oh, Tampa Bay. I was like, damn. I didn't realize that. Good God. I was like, yeah. Well, yeah.
If I knew
that. But yeah, yeah. So I'm like, oh, that's good. Because those bats have been quiet before these 2 wins. Those bats have been horrible. Like they could not get a run to save them lives, but they finally do. And people are still, man. I didn't realize like across MLB they really hate Oriole Park now because of that wall. Like, yes, I saw like something in the Tampa Bay. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called. Tribune, whatever paper they got down there.
Yeah, the Tribune.
They said they was talking about like, oh, like what the horrible wall has done because like somebody couldn't get a home run. It would have been a home run if it wasn't there. He's like, get the fuck out of here. I said, whatever, man. You know what? Get mad. I don't care. I was like, darn. I got so mad because I couldn't get easy ass home runs. That's all it is. It's like easy. It was some easy freaking home runs I could get in that park. All right. So what else is happening? Hockey, I'm not really paying attention to. So I have no idea what's going on there. There are some teams playing against each other, and some teams are winning. I don't know if I think Tampa Bay is still in there though. I think Tampa Bay is still alive, so they can have a chance for a three-peat. But I don't know. I could be lying, but who cares?
You're right, because I think it's them and Florida are still in there too.
The Panthers?
Yeah, apparently they're doing like really good this year.
Oh, goodness gracious, man! What the hell? The down south is rising in hockey.
Oh no! Yeah, Tampa is leading them right now 2-0.
They're playing against Tampa Bay?
Yep.
I mean, you mean not Tampa Bay. I mean, Florida's playing against Tampa Bay?
Yeah, it's Florida Bowl.
Oh, the Florida Bowl. Oh, so somebody's definitely going to the Stanley Cup. Is this a Stanley Cup? Like, is this after this?
I don't know. Let's see.
Or is this just the second round? This is the second round, isn't it?
I think it's just the second round.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's just going to the whoever wins goes to the semifinals.
Let's see. How come I don't have? I don't know. Here we go. Is this?
Hey, what team Wayne Gretzky on?
Yeah. This is the second round. So there's one more because it's them. It's Panthers versus Lightning, Hurricanes versus the Rangers, the Calgary Flames versus the Oilers, and the Colorado Avalanche versus St. Louis Blues.
Then you got Colorado. Anybody from so nobody is anybody? Did you say anybody from Canada?
The Edmonton Oilers are the only ones.
Oh, the Edmonton Oilers. Okay. Yeah. Do we get our oil from there?
No, they shut down that pipeline. I kid. That wasn't for us.
Get those gas prices down, Daniel.
Relevant topics. Yes.
They said it could go up to $6.
I mean, it's already almost at $5, so I believe it.
That'll be the highest it's ever been here. Yeah. Even when we had that gas price hike when I was driving, I remember it was like at 4 or something, and it get close to 6 over here. I know everybody keeps saying like, oh, but it's like 6 over California. I don't give a fuck about California. I'm freaking over here. Fuck them.
Or are you talking?
They can deal with this shit.
Even overseas, it's like, oh, in the UK, we've been paying $8 for petrol.
Yeah, I don't gotta go nowhere. Small ass streets and shit. Y'all can just walk.
Exactly.
Can't even fit. Yeah, you can't even have a whole lot of traffic in that area.
Anyway.
Exactly. You can't have a whole lot of cars going around, man. You can get nowhere.
Designed for horseback.
Y'all guys, those Mini Coupe things, man, they don't burn a lot of gas. All right. So, yeah, that's it. So, any wrestling news? Anything big about wrestling? Who is this guy? It's like a black-looking type of Hulk-looking guy, like a dark purplish black.
Huh. I don't know. Purple.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that Mondu at a Hulk form? Because he came out of Doctor Strange's mansion.
That is Dark Hulk, apparently.
That's what's called? Dark Hulk?
Dark Hulk.
And does it say something about Doctor Strange with that Dark Hulk?
Yes. The dark entity was a mysterious being that fought Doctor Strange. However, he sensed the power of the Hulk and possessed Bruce Banner, creating the Dark Hulk.
Oh.
Or the dark entity possessed
I want to see what he sounds
Bruce
like.
Banner. It was eventually defeated by the combined efforts of Doctor Strange and She-Hulk. So, spoilers. Sorry, Dominic. The dark entity.
Oh, the guy who talked for, it sounds like the guy who talked for, what's the black guy in the Walking Dead game name? The main character?
Lee,
yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I don't see on. Oh, wait, here we go. Kevin Michael Richardson. Is that him? He's the guy that did it? I know he does a lot of voices.
I don't know. I mean, it just sounds like him, but I don't know if it's him.
Trying to think. I don't remember who voiced Lee in that game. But he's Dr. Hibbert.
You said he's Dr. Hibbert?
Although, I don't know. They have this. He replaces Harry Shearer. Oh, I wondered if they actually.
I was about to say, I could have sworn. Yeah.
See, what they didn't realize, Dominic, by diversifying that cast, they could have got rid of Harry Shearer a long time ago. We always knew he was the troublemaker. You need to do 50 million voices. Anyway, wrestling, Dominic, yes. So there is something that happened this weekend.
I got to hear Dr. Hibbert now.
I wonder what this.
I don't know why.
If I turned on The Simpsons, would I recognize? Good Lord, Dominic, I can think of a few reasons why. Would it just sound completely off to me? Like, are we talking like when they changed Krillin's voice?
What's like this? Oh shucks, yeah. I was gonna be like that episode where they changed Flanders' voice. You remember when they said you must tell the difference?
Yeah.
God, man, Simpsons just had like 8 good seasons. It should. God damn, that show been on too long, man. It's been on too long.
It's gonna outlive both of us, Dominic. It's gonna outlive both of us.
Yeah, they're gonna just replace the actors.
Now they know they can do it. They were worried about it before.
I was like, these voice actors, a show should not last. A cartoon should not last where the voice actors just die while the show's still going on. It's one thing like Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse or something, because it's not really a series. But I mean, god darn. Yeah. All right. So, any wrestling news?
Yes. So there's a big thing that happened this week. Apparently during Raw, Sasha Banks and Naomi, who were the women's tag team champions, were informed that they were going to be in the main event of that show. It was going to be a 6-woman match to see who was going to compete for the Raw Women's Championship that Bianca Belair currently has. Allegedly, according to the discourse that's going around right now, Naomi was going to actually win that match and go on to have a singles match against Bianca Belair. And reports were that Sasha Banks was actually going to face off against Ronda Rousey, who is currently the SmackDown Women's Champion, at the next pay-per-view. But apparently they were not happy about that because they are the tag team champions. They want actual things to be happening with the tag team titles, which has unfortunately never been the case since they were introduced originally. And as such, I think because Sasha Banks and Bayley originally played such a big role in actually making that division happen, as far as like just putting pressure on Vince McMahon and the higher ups to actually create a women's tag team division, she has a lot invested in it. And as part of the duo that is currently the champions, and I would imagine as a friend of Sasha Banks, Naomi is in a similar position. So as such, they were told that stuff. They basically said, hey, this is not what we want to do. We think you're discrediting this division. And they walked out. They turned in the tag team titles and they walked out of the show that night. So they switched the main event to Asuka versus Becky.
And this is not part of the show.
This is not part of the show. So there was a lot of, on like Monday night and Tuesday, there was a lot of talk like, oh, this is a work thing, blah, blah, blah. But very quickly after this news came out, WWE actually released a statement, giving their take on it, which was basically that, they said they weren't happy with the situation. They also allegedly said that there were people in the match that they did not feel comfortable working with. So WWE very much like throwing additional people under the bus somehow. And then during the show, there were also a couple of times where Vince McMahon through Corey Graves' voice, because all the commentators are always on headsets and they have Vince McMahon basically feeding them lines, numerous times basically said like, Sasha and Naomi have left the building, they're very unprofessional, stuff like that. Then I saw this morning on SmackDown last night, they have now actually stripped Naomi and Sasha of the tag team titles. They're going to have a tournament to determine who the next tag team champions are, and also that they are both suspended indefinitely. Now that's when you start to get into like, maybe this is kind of a worked thing, but everything around it very much seems a little too real. And also now there are rumors going around that Naomi was in contract negotiations, but there was a lot up in the air because of like the situation with the tag team titles. Also, that both of their contracts are up within like the next 2 months or so. So things could get very interesting because depending on what they wanted to do, obviously, it would be a huge get for AEW to get Sasha Banks. To a very slightly lesser extent, Naomi. Naomi is very good at what she does, but she's just not the same level of star power that Sasha Banks currently is. Sasha could also theoretically just stop with the wrestling thing and follow a path in Hollywood. She was in Mandalorian Season 2 in a small bit role. From what she did in that show, which was basically just stand there and not really talk much, and what she does in wrestling, I think right now she's at maybe like CW levels of acting. I wouldn't necessarily say she's going to go off and star in her own Star Wars show or something like that without some more acting classes, but she definitely has the chops to be able to.
She can come on Siren. She can be on Siren.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. It's very weird to have WWE address this through a press release initially, because like they just don't do that. They'll instantly just make you disappear off TV and never say your name again. Like the last time they actually had a press release in this form or fashion was when Stone Cold walked out, 20 plus years ago or whatever it was, because in a very similar fashion, they wanted to do a match between him and Brock Lesnar. And he basically said like, that's a thing that you would build to. That's not just something you do on a Raw on Monday night. And he was like, all right, I'm done. And he walked out and, now he does what he does in WWE, and including having a match at WrestleMania this year. So they're on fine terms, but he never really stepped foot back in the ring to wrestle until just this year.
So going back to the Sasha Banks thing,
yes.
like, so what was the problem again? Because I missed it. Like, why didn't they want? What was the match they're supposed to do?
So they were supposed to be in a singles match. Basically, their issue, or at least one of their issues, is they created, or, Sasha helped create these tag titles, and basically from their inception, they have been treated as an afterthought. I mean, before Sasha had and Naomi won them, was it Shayna Baszler that had them with Naomi or somebody? I can't even remember. Or Carmella and Zelina Vega. But basically, they don't have women's tag team matches. They barely appear with them on television. Like, it's not a prestigious thing at all. Which unfortunately is the case with a lot of the titles. Like right now, the Intercontinental Champion is Ricochet, or at least I believe it's still Ricochet. And I don't even know if he's on television on a week-to-week basis. They really don't care about anyone outside of the very top people. And in the case of them not having a title, which is very rare, they're still going to be on TV more than someone that has whatever the top title is at the time. So it's very much just a creative thing. And that's what WWE's issues are 100% creative. Like, they have some of the most incredible talent in the world right now. And there have been times before they started cutting back that they literally had the best roster ever to exist in a wrestling federation, because they had scooped up every single person they could and had them available to them, but they just never were able to come up with stories to make their show interesting. And that's what they still fail at, is just coming up with contemporary stories that are relevant to people, or that not even are relevant to people. I mean, how many of us are muscular people that just end up fighting? But
me,
you, but things that feel like they're motivated, like there's reason behind them, instead of just here you go, this guy spilled a hot dog on another guy or something. So yeah, it's something that WWE struggled with for a very long time, and I think it's great that someone finally feels like they're in a position where they have the leverage and they can just be like, no, we're not going to do it anymore. We're tired of being treated the way we are. And maybe this could kickstart some more people, feeling the same way. The unfortunate thing is, again, this is all, dirt sheet rumor stuff, but allegedly the backstage reception to it is more like, oh, this is Sasha doing a Sasha thing. It's not, about how bad creative is, and something that they could kind of come together on, which really sucks. So we'll see. I mean, it's crazy, the situation right now. I don't know if they just end up showing back up on television. It was kind of weird because recently Mustafa Ali returned to television, and he had previously asked for his release. He stated as such on Twitter. And then basically anytime anybody asked him about like, oh, they're going to release you, or you're going to work at WrestleMania, he's like, no, I'm not working for this company. I'm not doing anything. I'll sit at home and collect my paycheck until my contract runs out or whatever. Which unfortunately for him sounds like it's still like 2 years off or something. But then he just, came back to Raw one day and Miz makes some jokes about that stuff, alluding to that. But other than that, it hasn't really played into the story. And it's one of those weird things. It's like, okay, I guess we're back to business as usual. So do we get to a point where it's like, oh, okay, Vince McMahon talked to Naomi and Sasha and they, even things out a little bit, cooled things down, and now they're just willing to do business again? Or is it going to be, this big moment where the two of them show up on AEW and help that women's division? The unfortunate thing is, and I think I talked about it, but the problem with AEW's women's division is no longer that they don't have the women to carry a division. It is very much that they are not given the time. The amount of women on that roster are not given the time on their main programs to actually become a feature of those shows, and that's very much to do with Tony Khan and the booking and the writing for that show. So that's something they need to either prioritize or bring someone else in to help them prioritize, because they're very much at a point where they have a lot of talent and could potentially have more, because there are still women out there that were let go from WWE that I am shocked that AEW is not picked up yet. So, there's plenty of talent there that they do and could have. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we get down to what we've been watching. So I watched some Atlanta. I think I'm just one behind on Atlanta, one or two. I know I watched episode, was it 9? Wherever the episode was with, I think his name's Chris Samuels, the guy who just passed away. He used to, well, it used to, but it was just recently he passed away. But he used to do these shows that used to come on YouTube about basically relationships and things of that nature between Black people. And some people might say him like, oh, he hates Black women. I mean, I don't think he hates Black women, but he is strong criticisms of Black women. Some things I mean, with the shows I have watched, some things I agree with, some things I don't agree with. But I mean, it's whatever. Like relationship stuff is not really never. I mean, there's some wrong answers, but it's some right. It's like it's never really, it's not black and white. It's just really people relationships are different. So it's like whatever. Anyway, this episode it dealt with. Like, this is one of those one-off episodes, nothing to do with the European trip. Okay. This is where a school. So it's about this kid, and he's mixed. He looks very white, but he's his father is Black. So this guy, he got this like one Black feature because his father was joking, say, hey, he said, so you may think you're white, something like that, but I know where that nose came from, or something like that. He said, I know that is. And because the cop was talking about how a Black guy got pulled over, and his son was like, man, maybe he should just listen to the cops. The cop says freeze, you just freeze. And then the father said, man, I wish he would get pulled over so he could see what that means. Something like that. And then he was joking, say, well, I would if you let me borrow the car or something like that. But so he basically really hangs around white people, really. Like, you don't really see him hang around any Blacks or anything like that. I mean, he's not, it doesn't come off like he's racist. It's just, but he feels like this is what he is. I mean, his girlfriend's white and then his friends are white. But that's when the Chris Samuels character came. Like, he doesn't play himself. He plays some guy who became big. He went to the school, is named after, Robert E. Lee. That's what it is. I think his name is Jackson Lee, I think. Oh. Robert E. Lee High School. He said, I'm changing the name. And also, I'm paying for all seniors here. I'm paying for your tuition to college. And it was like, yay. And that's good for him because he can't afford to go to the college he wants to go to. Because his father said, I told you, he said, I'm not signing the loans under my name. I said, I'm not doing that. I said, I can't sign these loans. They say, I told you to save money. And he asked him how much money he saved. He said, I saved $4,000. I said, well, that's good. I said, yeah, but it costs almost like $50,000 a year at this other school he went to. And I was like, what? She said, oh, well, I guess you ain't going. So when he heard that, he was all happy. But then the guy said, if you're Black. So that was the big thing. And you see a lot of these like ethnic in-betweeners, people trying to look Black. Like put their hair a different way. But they even mentioned, a guy said something about he said they're not looking for just like your Black, like they says ADOS is not based just on Blackness. It's based off, I don't think he said lineage though. I forgot what he said. I gotta look at it again because I want to see that part. Because I was kind of having it on and cleaning something at the same time. I was surprised they used the term ADOS. Yeah. I was like, wow, they really actually used that term. I said, okay, so the words is out there about. I mean, I know it already was, but for it to be into a regular program show, I was like, oh, that's different. But it basically was just saying that, like, he was looking for, like, if being not just like, oh, because you act black, like, are you black or something like that. Now with him, it's like technically his father is black, right, but he doesn't really identify though as black, so that's became a problem, and so he couldn't get the money. He got, just long story short, I ain't going to spoil the whole thing, but it dealt with that. It basically dealt with like almost identity crisis thing. It's almost like identity crisis thing with this episode. Like, what are you really, even though you're technically half black, what does that mean? And I don't know what I don't know what the message was at the end of the episode. I could see messages being told, but I don't know what the overall message was. Like, this is something I want to watch again, because I want to really dive into this to see what is Donald Glover or whatever the writer was for this specific episode. Yeah. What were they trying to say? Because for me, like being black is more of a lineage. It's not really about melanin. It's about lineage, because black isn't just black. Like, I'm a black American. I was born here. I'm a descendant from slaves. That's what ADOS is. While a black person from Nigeria or from another African country, Nigeria, I guess Ghana or whatever, they're not descendants from slaves. They know where they're from. They can trace back their lineage, while I don't really trace back my lineage to just this country. And then I'm mixed with some European in me too, because of what slavery has done. There's probably somebody had sex with a black woman. A white dude had sex with a black woman, consensual or non-consensual, I have no idea. But so that's why we're different. And then even for the Caribbeans, slavery was done differently there. It wasn't directly the same as here. It was still slavery, but it was different. And like it was more like the prisoners outnumbered basically like the prison guard. Basically, it was more slaves than the slave holders for those places. That's why they was like majority black. And like, while here we didn't. Yeah, like we didn't. So, and it was just like we were more like chattel slavery, where they bred us and stuff, and it could still keep them. We could still keep us to go on here. It was just done differently, but we're not totally the same. We do have different cultures, because of where we grow up, our culture is different. And plus it gets complicated when you have like just recent generations, so maybe mixed race. And it's not just based on, let me try to say that it's not based on melanin. It's based on where you at in society. How do people see, what do people see you as? And what do you identify as? Because some people, they could be half black or something, and they don't really identify as it. They don't really identify as, that's not who, like I am. They might put something else out there. They just don't really deal with that. And that's fine. But it's very complicated. It's very complicated, but it's something that should be discussed, because I just don't like when people put us all in the same thing. Like, hey, black is black. Like, say, that's not true. Like, some people had opportunities, and there's reasons for that, to delve into that. But anyway, yeah, it's a good talking point. That's why I like these. I like Atlanta. They have these good talking points. Even if you agree or don't agree, right. I do at like having kicks off that discussion
a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So what else have I watched? Well, that's basically it. I'm trying to think. I think I watched a Peaky Blinders episode. Still haven't finished that season. I am on the second to last Better Call Saul. Well, everybody is, because I'm watching it. Everybody else watch it. But before the mid-season finale, because it comes back on, I think, in July. I think the next show is going to be the last one until the next one comes out in July. And that was good. So I am mad at doing a break, but at least it's not a year. That's the only good thing. It's not a freaking whole year, waiting for the next one. And I did finally watch the Barry recap so I could start Barry 3. Yeah, I forgot all that shit. Like when they showed that stuff, I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I forgot. Because I forgot how many years ago that show came out. I'm like, yo, these shows be taking a while. It's like these season shows, like I'm happy that they do have not as many episodes, so it can be probably a better story to be told instead of like 20. But the problem is that them not having a regular schedule of when the next one comes out, it hurts it because I don't want to watch it all again.
Yeah.
But then I get to the point where, holy shit, what the fuck happened? It's like I'm watching other shows, so my brain can't keep all this shit in there. And I got other important stuff to keep in my brain too. So it can't all fit in. I only got but so much memory. I didn't buy no anymore. I didn't pay for it. I didn't upgrade.
The cheap model body.
So anyway, so I guess we could talk about the She-Hulk trailer that came out.
Yeah.
So the new Disney Plus show that's going to be coming out. So how do you feel about it?
I think in general the tone of it I am into. I'd like to see what they do with the She-Hulk character. Like it's always been an interesting one to me because she is this, superhuman person. I mean,
sexy.
Yeah, obviously. The green. It's all about the green. But she is this person that is a superhero, but also they focused a lot on her like quote unquote regular life or day job kind of stuff as a lawyer. And I'd be interested to see if that's the way they're going with this. Like, is this going to be like a procedural almost where it's like each episode is its own case and then, there's some other overarching stuff that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like that.
No,
I would like it to be, actually. Actually, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. I could see them doing it in a way like here, this episode is related to this case and you still have the overarching thing that ties them together. But it's not going to be like one of those procedurals where it's very much like this is mostly contained within its own episode. Yeah, I don't necessarily expect it to be.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that because I don't really watch any procedural shows.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing. Yeah, they all suck. I mean, because I'm seeing some of these shows, man. I'm like, man, these shows, because they don't really tell like the stories. I think I've seen them all. It's like the only thing's different is that it's the time. Like, okay, now they don't have to go to a payphone somewhere or something like that. I mean, that's it. It's like the technology is different. Yeah. But other than that, like the stories are pretty much the same. Mm-hmm. And then with at least see if there was like a She-Hulk lawyer thing, that'll be the difference. It's like, oh, this is actually interesting because this is a freaking green woman and she's doing these law cases. Right. like she's actually, yeah, this is kind of funny or funny or this. I mean, it could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
But the way they're gonna go, it's not. I don't think it's gonna be that. Which it's still fine. But that's still fine. I mean, I never even thought about it trying to be procedural. But it would be cool to have a show that is somewhat procedural, like at least one of these shows, to be able to do that. But anyway, what I thought of, I mean, yeah, I'm curious about the show. Like, I want to see it. I think why everybody I see who have a problem with it, well, not everybody, but the people who I've seen so far, is the CG. Like, the CG doesn't look that good on her. And it didn't, from what I saw. Maybe it'll get better, but maybe it'll get to a point where I just don't care.
Yeah.
And the story's good enough, I can deal with it.
Yeah, if it's not distracting.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's not.
Yeah. But yeah, because you even see the Hulk in there and he still looks perfectly fine, but there's like a lack of lighting or shadows or definition to her that makes her stand out in the scene in a way that just looks kind of unrealistic.
They should have just made her like they did the old Hulk TV show. This a big green woman.
Yeah. Slather that woman with some green paint.
All right, but it does. I am curious about the show. Now, this is the girl you said played Orphan Black.
Yeah,
Who's
I
playing
think
the
that's
Hawk?
where she's from.
Okay,
That's what it is.
yeah, because I think she was in also Perry Mason. I want to say
Okay.
the new one. Yeah, she was in the last one. Oh, the Perry Mason season 2 is supposed to be coming out too. I forgot when.
Oh.
So that's good. But I'm curious. Now, I think I saw one thing where somebody complained about the sexist stuff. Like, well, not sexist, but sex, like using her sex appeal. Like they said, when they saw the line, the girl saying she has a nice butt, it was cringy or something like that. I don't know. I'll let the other people decide. I mean, I had no problem with it.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm not a white woman, so I don't know. I don't know how I should feel about it. So anyway, I guess we get to what we're playing. So you didn't play any Rogue Legacy, right?
No, nothing really this week.
So all I played was some more Trails of Cold Steel 4. Still have not seen the main character yet. Like there is, I guess it's probably like a whole chapter where I don't see him because he's captured somewhere, like I said before. So we're still trying to find where he is, but we got to do some other things before that. Yeah, the game, I mean, hey, I'm still just having fun. So, not much I can really say to it about it right now.
Yeah.
What else have I played? I also played, hold on here. I mean, got to get to this page. All right, has Google Drive. Okay, what did I write up here, man? Because I'm not getting to this page fast enough.
You got Trails, Jurassic Park, and Umurangi Generations.
Okay. All right, so Jurassic Park, yes. The Jurassic Park Evolution 2 is on Game Pass, so I tried it out.
Mm-hmm.
I played around with it a bit, just the tutorial area. I don't know if they have all the voices from the movies. They do sound like them. I know they definitely have Ian Malcolm, and they definitely had... Now, I don't know if they have the woman. It sound like her. I don't know if that's Chris Pratt, but it sound like him.
Yeah.
So they have good sound alikes, or they even have them. I don't know. I don't really care because that's why I didn't bother looking it up. So,
it works.
But either way, it's fine. I like that. I like that they have the voice acting in there, and like talk to you while you're doing things, and some funny quips.
Mm-hmm.
But what you start off with, you start out in Arizona. Like dinosaurs are all free now, so this is actually in between what happened in the last movie and this upcoming movie. So I'm out here, like you got people to capture dinosaurs, and it looks like I don't remember doing this in the last game. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I think it was automated when you sent a team out to capture a dinosaur. Like you can get close and see them do it, but you weren't physically doing it. In this one, though, you take control of them. You can take control of them and go out. You be like in a helicopter view, like the person, and you can shoot them, to tranquilize them, and then you get a team to go out and capture them and put them back in a pen. So I think that was pretty cool. And also driving, like you can with the survey team, like going to the pens to see how the dinosaurs are doing. Try to keep your distance, because then I like them do it automatically, and next thing I know, I see something warning thing like, oh no, they're being attacked. I guess they got too close to the dinosaur. He was attacking them, but they got away. So far it's fun. I mean, I'm still at the very beginning, so I haven't really dived too deep into it. I just made a pen for, I don't know what this dinosaur is. It looked like the dinosaur from the movie, maybe the last movie. I don't know if it was the main. It looks like the main one, but I don't know if it is that one, honestly. I mean, because it doesn't have the little hair spikes, but it looks, everything else looks the same. It looks like it'd be a half Tyrannosaurus Rex Velociraptor thing. Because it's a smaller size like that. But anyway, what else is there? I also captured some Triceratops, and I'm just, trying to keep them comfortable, having looking like the terrain looks pretty good, like they like having enough trees around if they like trees. Yeah, I mean, it's still Jurassic Park Evolution, just like the first one, but it looks like it's more some new things added to it, like I said, and there might be more too. I have to play some more of it. I might play some more. I was just trying it out to see how I like it, playing it through the cloud, and yeah, it plays well. It loads fast. It's not long loading and anything.
Nice.
Because I think on the first one on my computer, I mean, it was playable, but the fans were blowing hard. No. Like, it was real loud. So I knew this probably was going to happen with this one too. So I was like, let me try it just through the cloud and see, do I like it, like the controls. Yeah, because the controller controls, they're not great, but I don't know if it's the touch controls in that cloud version. I'll test it out and see if I could use the mouse, because I just stay with the controls. Yeah. What else have I played? I also played like you said, Umurangi Evolution. It's almost like a Pokemon Snap kind of game, but you're taking pictures of just like you're a real person, and the graphics kind of look very, I don't even know how to describe it. Very blocky, very. I'm trying to see what can I compare it to. Like in between, like if the PlayStation had like a full 3D or something. It doesn't look great, but you can still tell what things are.
Like almost if you upscaled a original Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
You have those blocky, but it's, a lot cleaner.
Yeah. So, thing is, I still don't understand the damn game. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to take pictures of. It looked like you just take random pictures and just, I guess, get a certain score. And then they have challenge, like, they also have almost like, hey, if you take a picture of this, you'll get a bonus. Like, if you find these birds, take all these pictures of these birds, and I guess a certain amount of time they have up there, you'll get a bonus. I don't know how to make pictures look better. Like, they do have like a contrast or a what else is there? Things you could change the filters, but I don't know. Sometimes I don't think it looks better, but then when I do it and I snap it, I do get more money from it than I did if I just didn't do anything. And I was like, I don't know how to judge for this. So I'm not really having fun with this game. Yeah, I wasn't really having fun with it. I said, this game, I don't know. It's just not. Yeah, it doesn't really give me a firm understanding of what to do, like how to take pictures, or anything. I want them just to tell me, like, hey, just take a picture of this. Kind of like Pokemon, like, hey, you see this, something weird, this happened, take a picture real quick, and and go. It's kind of free roaming. You're not on like
you're not on rails.
Like down rails or anything. Like you can walk. Well, the one I was on, maybe there is a level. I have no idea. But the stage I started with, I was on top of a building, and with a lot of graffiti around, and you can't fall down. You don't die. They just put you back up. Because I was wondering, I was like, can you just walk off the side or anything? And I said, oh, you can. So, yeah, it's not, I don't know. I don't even know how it was rated. Like, is this a good game or not? I mean, it's been out actually for a bit. I don't know if maybe it just came out on Xbox. I'm not sure. I know it just came out on the cloud. I know that. But yeah. Oh, look, She-Hulk is doing a fashion show. Yeah, so that is it. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're flashbacking to 2012. 10 years ago, we got Sonic the Hedgehog 4, episode 2, man. And this was the final episode of the series. What is the story or even of this?
We go with Sonic kissing ladies. I don't know.
Like, I don't even know. Yeah, but I think my friend actually did buy it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think he said it was okay. But I just never understood this. I was like, okay, it's breaking episodes. But I was like, and then it just stopped. And I guess, was it because it wasn't selling well? Or they realized, oh, this sucks? I don't know.
Think it was probably a combination of both there. Because it was definitely billed like the original Sonic the Hedgehog 4 was billed as like, this is the return to what you guys want. And then it came out and was like, and then I think episode 2 came out and people were even more like, it's not great. So yeah, I think it fell off very quickly.
And was there any Tails or Knuckles in this? I don't think so, right? I think it was just Sonic.
Tails was, Tails
is it in
was
2 or episode 1?
He's definitely in 2. Doesn't look like he's in 1. Can you play as him though? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Playable character. Yes, Tails was also playable in there.
Oh, okay. I just don't remember. I mean, I only played like the demo anyway. All right. So then you have Dragon's Lair came for the Xbox Live Arcade. And was this the original Dragon's Lair or the one that came on PlayStation 2?
I was thinking it was the 3D one, but now that I think about it, it's probably the original one. Let's see.
The original one? Oh, okay.
Lair XBLA.
Yeah, this is a game. I mean, I didn't get it on Xbox Live Arcade, but I had it on my PC because I remember seeing pictures of it and like, man, you play as a cartoon. I said, this is probably the best graphics ever, and not realizing that I wasn't controlling the guy. It was just a video.
It was definitely
and I
the cartoon.
Pick where to go.
Original.
Oh, it was original, but it's still a classic. My dad said he remembers it in the arcades.
Yeah,
playing it, but it's basically cheat your coin because
it's very much like if you don't know what you're doing, then you're going to choose the wrong option and you're going to die.
Yeah, and then the options is sometimes it's quick. I don't think you can just wait. I got to decide. We're going to Resident Evil Operations Raccoon City. This is the pinnacle. Like, this is the best Resident Evil game to ever been released. Like, this is the top. Like, people always talk about this game. When you see Resident Evil, you think of Operation Raccoon City. It's like, but this is what is really taken from the side game that's in 5 and I don't know, was there a side thing in 4? I know 5 had it.
No, they eventually added it, but like the mercenary stuff is you're talking about, right?
Yeah. But this is just basically that, like into a full game kind of level. And I didn't really get that great of reviews. Yeah, I don't think it got really great reviews. Let me see.
50% on Metacritic.
Oh, okay.
Structure gave it a 7.5 though. That seems pretty high.
All right. I think my friend I think he borrowed the game. I don't think he bought it.
No, okay.
And he said he didn't really like it that much either. So yeah, I mean, because I wasn't really big on that stuff. I mean, it seemed like it was something just to try out, but never thought of it as a full game, and especially if they made the controls the same way. I mean, if they didn't make it like a regular third-person shooter, then I was like, I'm definitely gonna play no shit like that.
Yeah,
like because y'all ain't known for y'all like control as far as action game, like an action game. Resident Evil, I don't think of that. So I'm like, y'all should have got like somebody else to make this game and just use the name. All right. So what we have here, we got Mario Tennis Open came out for the 3DS. So this is the first tennis game on the 3DS.
Yeah.
How well did it do?
Reviews say 69. Nice.
Oh, damn. I guess it was not good.
Yeah, I thought that was.
I mean, it wasn't as good as I thought. I
don't know if I ever tried this or not. I don't think I did, but it might have been because of those reviews. I was a little bit scared away by it. Plus, I was still in the mind frame, which I still am, that the Game Boy Color with the RPG elements was the best version of that, and if you don't have that in the game, then I don't need to be there.
Yeah. So that one and the golf one had the RPG elements. They were basically the same, just different
the golf
sport.
one was better. The tennis one still had that stuff in it, but it just wasn't quite as good.
All right. So now we have Alan Wake's American Nightmare finally came to the Windows.
Yeah.
So it's already had been out already. Dragon's Dogma. Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
10 years ago, that game came out for PS3, Xbox 360. This is the game I always thought about getting. I always was like interested in it. I just never did. It okay reviews, like I think good. What's the Metacritic? Isn't it in the 70s? Or is it higher?
The discourse around that was interesting because like when it came out, it was definitely so like 78, 75 for PS3 and PS4.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was around there,
because
but then I feel like there was a resurgence of people talking about how great it was once like the Dark Souls stuff kicked up again.
Okay, yeah, you know what? And that's it is because when it first came out, I think that's why I didn't really jump in because I was like, oh, it's a good game, but I don't know if I want to spend money on it and something like that. And then like you said, now you hear it a lot because shucks, they came out with another the HD ones or whatever, you know. Well, I say HD,
like
but
HDDD, like that.
Yeah, and
Arisen,
and is it on? It's on a Switch too, right? Is it a Switch version?
I think it did make it to the Switch. Yeah, it made it to the Switch.
Yeah, so it got some popularity. I mean, I don't know how it. I forgot how it played. I haven't played it in so long. I think I played like a demo or something of it, and. Yeah. So what did it play like? Does it play like a third person action? Does it play like a Monster Hunter? What is it?
It's probably more a Monster Hunter because it is kind of Dark Soulsy, but I think you're a little more fluid. Like you can jump around and climb things and stuff like that.
Okay. Also, we got what is this? Men in Black Alien Crisis. Yes.
Yeah.
This is probably the best Men in Black game. Who knows? I don't know because I haven't played any. I haven't played any of them. But it came out for PS3, Xbox 360, and the Windows. And not Windows. I'm sorry, the Wii. What?
Oh boy.
Did it get? Did people like it?
No, not at all. It was very very poorly received. They have a Eurogamer score of 2 out of 10 and a GameSpot of 2.5 out of 10.
Damn.
Apparently, GameSpot's Chris Waters opined ugly, boring, and brazenly priced. Brazenly priced.
So this
they must have came out at $60.
This was the MIB 3, right? The third one that had came out?
Yeah.
That's what this is the time it came out?
Yep.
All right. See, I still haven't seen that movie. Have you seen it?
Is that the one with James Brolin?
Yes.
Thanos? Yes, I have seen that one then. I don't remember much of it at all outside of not particularly liking it.
This is pre Will Smith slap. He was still lovable.
Yes. Because there's another one after this, right? There was the one with the lady Valkyrie from Thor. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one I have not seen.
I haven't seen that one either. Because I don't believe women should be men in black. That's why, Daniel.
Okay.
Women should not wear suits.
That's what it is. I knew there was a reason why you didn't like Hillary Clinton.
Yep. Those panties, man, are hideous. All right. So what we got here? Sorcery is on the PS3.
That's a PlayStation.
Is this
game.
the move? Yes, about to say, is that the move game, right? Yeah. You is it like a Harry Potterish or something? Yeah,
basically, you're a magician with a wand, and you're using the move controller to be your wand.
Okay. Are you like an old magician with a beard, like
no,
you're
a sorcerer's apprentice. You're a young kid, so yeah, Harry Potterish.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's so much like you're in a school or anything. I think you're in like a fantasy world, but. Yeah, you're a younger kid. Metacritic's got 70 out of 100, so it's pretty all right.
And last and maybe least, because I don't know what the hell it is, tabletop tanks for the PS Vita. I'm guessing it's tanks on a tabletop board game. I have no idea.
Maybe an AR game. Nope, doesn't even look like that. Oh, wait. Yeah, it doesn't even look like that much. Actually, I can't tell. Can't tell if he's using the camera or if it's just jittery for another reason. I think it's just jittery. Oh my
God, it's 83 degrees in here.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm about to turn this fucking air on. So that is it for 2012. Now we're going back 20 years, 2002.
Yeah.
And we got, let's see what we have here. Well, maybe I'll start with this one first. I'll see this one for last. Soldiers of Fortune 2, Double Helix. I'm sorry if you hear the air conditioning in the background, but I got to cool off. So I never played any of the Soldier of Fortune games. They're mostly just PC games.
Yeah.
So I never really rock with them. I think they did portal. I don't know the first one or some version of it poured over to the consoles, but I never touched them.
I think the PlayStation had one or something like that.
Yeah. So what did 2, was it good reviews for this one?
I think they were decent.
I know
reviews.
people did like the first one.
The big thing about it was just the fact that you had like dismemberment. So you shot a guy and his arm flew off and stuff like that. Oh,
that is awesome. Is this based off true stories?
I don't think it's based off true stories, but it is weirdly connected to that Soldier of Fortune magazine. So apparently it got an 80 out of 100 on PC and a 61 out of 100 on the Xbox. So definitely a PC game if you're going to get it.
Okay. I think you should still try the Xbox one.
Just start there, though.
It's because of the controller, Daniel. It was still the big fat controllers. Then they need to get the smaller ones. It was better.
Yeah. This was developed by Raven. So it's a pretty pedigree studio.
Yeah, it is. Now they just make Call of Duties. All right.
Sad.
Well, actually, no. I mean, maybe Microsoft can get them to get back into, doing a sequel to. Well, that too, and Singularity.
Yep, there you go.
That's Singularity 2 out there. All right.
Phil's going to come out with a Singularity shirt at E3 or whatever the E3 equivalent is.
Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights game came out for the PS2.
So many frights.
I don't know if this is based off the cartoon or the movie. I don't know. I forgot when the movie came out. Actually, the movie should have been out. I think I was in school when the movie came out.
Yeah,
the first one anyway.
Cartoon.
Okay. And people love this game. I'm assuming, Daniel. This is like one of the best
69, 68, 70. This is not. Yeah.
Okay.
66.
I guess for a game like for a Scooby-Doo game, it could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
Exactly.
All right. So what else we have here? We got Grand Theft Auto 3 for the PC came out. So the PC players finally got to be able to play the game.
This was my time.
But the GameCube and the Xbox people were still angry because they can't get a hold of it.
The
GameCube was never
that it never came to GameCube. So many rumors back in the day, down
because it was too violent, Daniel.
Yeah,
it was too violent. And they had hookers. I mean, actually, the violence wasn't the problem. It was the hookers, Daniel.
It really was.
It's like no sex on our Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so you got to play the great graphics and everything. I didn't really care because I think
my computer at the time did not have particularly great graphics, but it handled it well enough that I enjoyed that game a lot.
All right. So what else we have? We got Super Smash Brothers Melee came out, I guess, in Europe.
Yeah, the Europeans finally getting it.
Why are they so late?
Because everything came out late from Nintendo back then for them, I feel like.
Oh yeah, they didn't like them back in those days.
Yeah,
they didn't like Europe.
There was quite a while there from early days on to I want to say through the GameCube and like Game Boy Advance.
Actually, when did the GameCube come out in Europe? I wonder though. It came out later, right? Did it come out later?
It must have. It must have, because they definitely treated Europeans like second-hand citizens back then.
They should be. They should, to this day, they should be. I don't know why they're getting games at the same time as us sometimes. A lot of times, I'm just like, you gotta stop that shit.
Yeah, exactly. We only need to be like two languages in our games. You guys gotta have 20. So why do we gotta wait for you to localize all that stuff?
And say exactly. See, y'all just get the English versions. All right. So what we have here, and then we got Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds Clone Campaigns. So this is one where you have to play with the Clone Wars. Galactic Battlegrounds, I think, is a strategy game.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
For the PC. So you get to play, it's the sucky clones and everything. It's like,
But they look so
like,
cool,
I mean,
Dominic. They were like stormtroopers, but cooler looking.
like the Clone Wars. I mean, stuff was actually cool. I mean, the actual like the movies weren't good, but the stuff that happens in the movies and the whole thing, it was good. It was just a bad story. It was just a horrible story. And I'm just wondering when George Lucas said Clone Wars back in the 70s in the movie, like, what the hell was he thinking? I know he wasn't thinking what he came out with, well, eventually. Like, I think somebody said there was be Jedi clones. They thought that was like, hey, there may be clone Jedis or something, but then they changed. And I'm just thinking about like people who watched the movie. Where were they thinking? Like, Clone Wars? What the hell is that? The hell is a Clone Wars? And I certainly didn't. When I read about it in a book, like that they were doing the clone, it was going to be called Clone Wars for a second movie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was going to be about like stormtroopers being cloned. So I was just thinking like, okay, we're going to finally know what this is. And then when I saw that, I was very confused. I said, oh, this is when the stormtroopers finally come. But then I watched the movie, I was even more confused because I was like, are the stormtroopers the bad guys or the good guys? It's like I was very confused. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Why do these guys that look exactly like stormtroopers, why are they the good guys now?
I never played none of these. I mean, if I had a computer, I would definitely have gotten these Star Wars strategy games. Yeah. Even the sucky Gungan one that came out during the first movie. Because I think my dad had like a bootleg of it or something on his computer. And I was playing with it a bit.
Like an AOL chat room or something.
And I was like, yo, this is okay. I mean, I ain't know no better. But it probably was the best Gungan thing ever. I mean, of anything, because Gungans suck. And I wish they would just tell us, like, where are they? Where are the Gungans now? Did they die? We got Spy Hunter for the Game Boy Advance came out. I'm guessing the other one, the other ones, he always spoke on the regular console ones, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, Zoo Tycoon Dinosaur Digs came out. Yep, you get to have some Dinosaur Park. Nice. This is before Jurassic Park Evolution.
Yeah.
Until, they said we're going to get there
Still
first.
Post Dino Park Tycoon, though, Dominic, so we know who started it.
Even though, there was a Dinosaur Park thing before this. I just don't remember what it was called.
Dino Park Tycoon.
And I don't know if there was, I don't know what, that's the only one. I mean, I thought there was one before. I didn't think it was a Tycoon one. That's the thing.
There might have been another one. That's the one I'd always remembered going back to.
Muppet Pinball Mayhem came up for the Game Boy Advance. I believe I heard people say this is probably the best pinball game ever, and they want them to make another one.
Of course.
Baseball Advance came out, and I think
Baseball Advance was pretty good.
It probably was, but were they Japanese teams or some shit?
I don't even know if they were real teams. If it's the one I'm thinking of,
they could have just had Mario then. In there.
Maybe this isn't the one I'm thinking of, but it's a different one that was actually also pretty good. Let's see. All 30 teams from the Major League were available. Only 4 stadiums, though. Safeco, Wrigley, Fenway, and Pacific
they actually got the real teams. Unbelievable.
Yeah. But I remember that being pretty all right, because I think I played this on the emulator. Definitely did not buy it.
Egg Strong Sad is a big Bad Strongman game. I think it's from one of the Bad Strongman games. It was like a side thing I was reading, and then they just had his own game. Huh. And it's like a sports type of game in the Bad Strong storyline. And what is Bad Strong again? Where is he from?
Is Homestar Runner, right? It was like internet animation thing, like early internet animation.
Oh, okay.
Strong Bad and Strong Sad.
All right. So what we have here, we got Tiger Woods PGA Tour Golf on the Game Boy Advance. Man, they had a shitload of games.
Oh yeah.
You got Real Striker 2002, Virtual Striker 2002 for the GameCube. What is this? Is this soccer?
Soccer, yeah.
Okay. You also have World Series Baseball for the Xbox. came out. This is their version of baseball. They had their license. And I think Jason Giambi was on the front of this, I want to say.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, yep. This is before we knew he took steroids. So he was a good guy.
On the Yankees.
Yeah, I was pissed off. Because he was on Oakland when they almost beat the damn Yankees.
Yep.
But they were up 2-0. All they had to win was one more. The Yankees won 3 straight. And I was like, oh, you sons of bitches. And then next year I heard he say, oh, Jason Giambi's on the Yankees. Oh, you go to hell. You go to hell, Jason Giambi. All right. So, oh, yes. And then we got some news like here. We got Underground Development, which is a Z-Axis Limited, really is acquired by Activision. And they're known to make some games. I think one of the latest games I saw was like a Guitar Hero something game.
Okay.
So I think it's Van Halen. I forget which one it was. Also, Activision's been busy. They also acquired Infinity, a 30% equity in the newly formed development studio Infinity Ward.
Oh, okay. I think I've heard of them.
Yeah. So, yes, this is just the beginning. And what else is there? ValueSoft is acquired by THQ. I don't know what they made. I did look it up. I mean, I see a Prison Tycoon 3.
Okay.
I didn't even know there was a Prison Tycoon. Damn.
Let alone
they did Yahtzee, Parcheesi, an Aggravation Collection.
Sure.
Lego Racers / Lego Racers 2. They did Europa Universalis 3rd. That's not English. 18 Wheels of Steel, American Long Haul, Lego Creator / Legoland. They did the combination games because, it's not they did one or the other.
Yeah.
they did the pack.
We packaged
something like
together.
that.
You're welcome.
So they stopped. It looked like the last game they done under this name is Haunted Hell's Reach.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is. Oh, yes. And then there's a big game that came out 20 years ago. This is the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy XI.
My goodness.
Final Fantasy's first online game. It kicked off. I mean, this is basically the precursor to 14, which is probably the biggest and most successful one. Well, after they did that expansion, they did a redone when they redid it. But Final Fantasy 11. I was interested in this, but then when I realized I needed a broadband connection, I became less interested because I didn't have a broadband connection. All I had was dial-up, and I was using Net Zero. So I didn't care. I think, did my friend end up getting it? No, he didn't, because he didn't have broadband either, because he got EverQuest, but then he was like, I can't get it because we don't have broadband. And I think we couldn't really get it where we lived at the time, because I know he kept talking about how, man, he thought they were doing something in the front, putting in so we can get broadband, but it wasn't. They were just fixing the street. That's all they were doing. That's all they were doing. Yeah. So, but yeah, so I was like, I didn't really care about it. But yeah, people, I think they enjoyed it. What was the Metacritic for it, when it first came out? Even though the games like this, you got to keep coming back to, but we didn't know. We didn't know any better back then.
Not giving them the 14 treatment. F them. Let's see. PS2 was 85, PC was 82, and 360 was 69.
Okay, 60 don't count. We're not even there yet, Dan. We don't even know there was going. We don't know the Xbox is going to continue after this. We don't know if it's successful.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we also didn't think they would get a Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that too. It was looked upon as pretty good. People did like it. Like I said, when I first saw it, I just didn't care because I wasn't able to play it. But this is also the first release of it in Japan. I released later in the US. I forgot when. You got when it comes on in the US?
Let's see. It was US. North America was March 23rd, 2004.
Damn. Not till a little less than a year. later.
A little more than a year. Well, almost 2 years.
What are you talking about? What? Oh, you said 2004.
2004.
You said 2004? Wait a minute. It was 2 years after it came out Japan?
That's what it says here.
I cannot believe it was that long after Japan. That's ridiculous.
Now, on PC, it came out sooner. It came out October 28th, 2003 on PC.
Oh, okay. All right.
I guess they were doing better on PC, and they were like, well, this is where people play MMOs, I guess.
Maybe they're saying, hey, we ain't had enough subscribers. Not enough people who had PlayStation 2s had the modem. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they saw the statistics on it or something. It was like, man, if this many Japanese people getting on, maybe we ain't going to get that many. U.S. people don't have broadband everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that is it for the flashback segment. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. Now let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right. First up, Dominic, we got the developer Spiders, the creators of Greedfall. They've announced Greedfall 2, The Dying World, for 2024. Now, Greedfall always looked like a kind of cool thing. It was like The Witcher, but set in what seemed like early days America, basically. Did you ever end up getting into that at all?
I played a little bit of it, but just that I think I was playing another game at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing another game at the time, so I just couldn't stick with it.
Yeah, but that's cool.
So it's a game I still want to play. I just, hey man, it's just it's just not having enough time to do things, man. It's like you got to really pick and choose.
Yep.
And I chose my Japanese RPG. That's what I chose, Daniel. My Japanese anime RPG. That's 10 years ago. I would never have said that. I would never have done that. I was like, nope. I say, why would I pick a Japanese RPG or like this anime bullshit over some real like Western RPG?
Yep. Just go back to like 2009, Dominic, and be like, this is a picture of the game that you're going to be obsessed with in the future. Fuck out of here. So that's cool. All right. Another one coming 2023. This one got pushed out of this year. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Now, I didn't even realize they were still making Test Drive games, honestly.
Yeah. Just like, what's the other game? What's the other game that used to come out every time a new console used to come out?
A Ridge Racer?
What's a racing game called? Yeah, I used to always get Test Drive and Ridge. I was thinking like the same thing. Like, these are racing games that I never play.
Yeah, exactly. The main reason I put this on here, though, because like otherwise I don't think I would even talk about it since we didn't even realize the series existed anymore, was because they also dropped Xbox One and PS4 versions that they originally had announced they were going to be making. And that seems like it's kind of becoming a trend. And I just wanted to, discuss a little bit like, are we finally at the point where it seems like developers are moving away from the previous generations of consoles?
I believe so. I think PlayStation still stayed with it because of the sales of the console. But that also tells me, see, here's the thing. I don't mind it going to sticking with the new current consoles or the new gen, or what you want to call it. Right. Because that's what you want to do. You want them to focus on it.
Yeah.
But if the game can still be playable on the old consoles, then I don't know why you leave it out.
Right. If you're designing a game that is not power intensive.
Yeah. If it's one thing's unplayable. If it's like Cyberpunk, what Cyberpunk was for the Xbox and PS4, then yes, don't do it. But if it's still somewhat playable, but like this, what's the game called? Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, it's still playable.
Yeah.
It's playable on PS4.
I haven't heard anything bad
problems
about that version of the game.
No. But the way it sounds like is that were they always going to be that way? Was it always going to be that way? Or did they just choose it? Not just, but did it later on they said, we're gonna still keep the PS4 version. Now, like I'm not saying that they weren't. Maybe they did start on PS4, but was that a point where PlayStation said, you know what, we're not gonna release it on PS4, even though it can run there. We're just gonna release it on PS5 to make it like it's, hey, this is just next gen.
Yeah.
Like how they did, like God of War. Like, was it that they started on PS4 and then they said, yeah, we can move to PS5, but we're gonna make it exclusive to PS5 though, because we want to keep it new. It's not because of the technology, like because the game is so powerful that it can't be played. Right. It's just because you're just locking it. Like that's the thing. I don't want you just to do it because you just want to lock it. I want it to be because you're actually taking advantage of the hardware, like to a capacity that going back would not make it a good game.
Yeah.
Like it just would not be that. Even if it's playable, it's bad, like Cyberpunk is. Like Cyberpunk, well, I don't know. I think it still is. I mean, I never heard anybody say, oh, it's good to play on 360. Not 360, Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what was I going to say there? You would hope that for those games, they are designing them from the ground up to be played only on these new systems. But I think a lot of that... I guess the issues that we're seeing now stems from the fact that there's not that leap that you're seeing anymore, like going from an Xbox to an Xbox 360 or Xbox. I mean, I guess that was really the last giant leap that we saw, the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One.
Yeah, that was the last giant leap.
It was very much just about graphics. And yeah, you can tone graphics down to be playable on the last generation of consoles. It's really about those concepts that we started to see introduced being unable to be fulfilled on the old consoles. Like when we started to see like really open worlds, you couldn't see Assassin's Creed appear on an Xbox. Like that just wasn't a thing that would run that way. No. And you know, now we're back to a point where it's literally we're just seeing graphics differences. So for the most part, yeah, most of these games could in fact run on the previous gen console. It will cost some time and some effort to tone that back a little bit. And I think one of the problems is that we start to see is there used to be a benefit to them toning those things down to run like on a Switch. But now as the Switch is becoming even more long in the tooth, it's like, I don't know if it's worth toning it back that much, you know? So
yeah, will you get well the money that it sells make up for that.
Yeah.
You do it, you put that work in.
Yeah, because like the Xbox One and the PS4 would have been like a half step to getting it to the Switch anyway. So like, let's put those versions out. Why not? And now it's like, well, we're not going to put the effort into doing a Switch version. So why would we put the effort into putting it on the 360, the Xbox One and the PS4?
And now that I think about what we talked about last week with the Gotham Knights. So I'm saying, like, okay, now you're all in new gen. Can't you make the city more alive now?
Nope, it's too late into the game. We decided it too late. Why take away those old versions then?
Yeah, why take it away? Why take away the current gen version? But then again, maybe it still ran horrible. So maybe I don't want to see that version come out, honestly. But that still tells me that I'm sorry, like you need to take advantage. Then you know what? Just take more time. But I guess, they got to put a game out. They've been working on it so a while. But it's not like, I think it's still no excuse for last gen to not have the city be more alive.
Yeah.
Because we've seen games
100%
have a living city. I mean, the Ubisoft game even do it. Now, not even talking about Spider-Man. The Ubisoft games do it.
Yeah, I mean, you got Watch Dogs, you got Assassin's Creed. Yeah, there's plenty of examples of those types of games. Definitely seems like a stylistic choice that is falling a little out of line with what people are expecting out of video games nowadays.
Yeah, like Arkham City made sense because it was a city locked away.
Yeah, it was just a portion of the city too. They had
and it was like made a prison. It was made a prison, so it was just prisoners around. But Arkham Knight, Well, Arkham Origins, I guess you want to include that. That didn't make any sense.
It's
Arkham
Christmas
Knight's Death.
and nobody's out shopping whatsoever.
They're thinking like, oh, because it's that fucking excuse. I'm like, is New York City that dead on Christmas Eve?
Yes, 100%.
I don't think so. As I say, like there ain't no freaking cabs. Nobody's out late. You kidding me? And then like got at Arkham what's it called? Arkham Knight, right? The Arkham Knight. What the hell? I mean, that's no excuse.
Right.
That's literally no excuse why I don't see nobody in the city. Like they actually got everybody evacuated. I said, nah, man. Y'all just didn't want to make it. Y'all just didn't want to make like freaking random NPCs walking around and shit.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous. I mean, come on, Grand Theft Auto could do it too, man. It's like you gotta stop. Grand Theft Auto did it on the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
It did it on the 360. Come on, Arkham Knight, it just came out. It was just on the new consoles, right? It didn't come on. There was no 360 version of that one, right? That was just one in PS4.
Yeah, I think it was just one in PS4.
Yeah. So Grand Theft Auto technically came out on the Xbox 360 and PS3.
Oh my god, yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5. So what's your excuse?
We aren't pumping as much money as Rockstar is into these games.
Yeah.
That's the excuse.
But y'all are charging for those DLCs and shit, man. It was...
Yep.
Man.
All right, Dominic, speaking of open worlds that actually have some stuff going on inside of them, it was announced that Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt will be launching in Q4 of this year. So it got pushed out of the first quarter. Now it looks like it's coming at the end of the year. What is your level of interest there? Is
if it comes on Game Pass, I'll try it out.
There you go. Yeah.
I just to see how it runs on the Xbox Series X.
Yeah. So that's cool. We finally got the Cyberpunk fix for next gen, and now they're releasing this. So hopefully once they're done this, we can get them working fully on that new Witcher game that they announced, and we'll see some of that soon. All right, Dominic, speaking of...
Or the Cyberpunk DLC or something, man. Darn.
Do you think there's going to be Cyberpunk DLC?
Yes, I think there is. I think at least one.
Yeah. Okay. Like substantial, like single-player stuff, right?
Yes.
Because
they did with The Witcher 3.
Man, they gave up on
I think it's going to be one of them,
multiplayer, right? Like they were supposed to do a multiplayer thing, and then they were like,
"That's right, it was supposed to do a multiplayer."
Like, nope.
Yeah.
God, that game hit some rough waters, Dominic.
I know, man. There was such high hopes for that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They disappoint me. I got to get high hopes for games. They disappoint me, Daniel. Like Mass Effect, Andromeda did.
Expectations low, always. Because you're going to get disappointed again this year when you see new Mass Effect again, Dominic. Just don't let yourself love anymore, Dominic. Just don't let yourself love.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of disappointing things, Dominic, mobile phone games, but also this one looks kind of cool. Marvel Snap was announced. This is going to be a Marvel-based card building game or deck building kind of thing.
They really called it Snap. You sons of bitches.
It's a weird name. I think part of it is because like this is supposed to be a lot more faster paced than a Hearthstone. Like I was watching the video about it, and the guy was saying basically like your average game is going to be 3 minutes long because it's basically 6 turns each, and your turns happen at the same time, which is kind of interesting because then you aren't playing off of what the other player does. You're playing like in anticipation of what they're going to do. And they've also got like this lane system. So there are 3 different locations on the map, and it'll be like Wakanda. And in Wakanda, each of your cards that you put in this lane, up to 4 cards, has +2 strength. Or one of the other ones I saw was like Nowhere from Guardians of the Galaxy. If you put a card down in this area, it just eliminates itself. But those locations roll out slowly, like they get flipped over and tell you what the buff or debuff is over 3 rounds. So the first round, you know what the leftmost location is. Round 2, you find out what the middle location is. And round 3, you find out what the third location is. And if you put the card down before you find out what that buff or debuff is, then it doesn't get buffed or debuffed. So in the video, the example was the guy put down the card in location 3 that turned out to be nowhere. So he's got a power level of 2 in that area, but now his opponent can't put down any cards in that. So he's basically guaranteed to win. But there are some cards that can kind of subvert that. It seems like a really interesting concept and a novel way to mix things up from Hearthstone. I signed up for the beta or whatever that's supposed to be happening relatively soon. Okay. The problem is it's still a phone game. I don't know if I'm gonna invest a lot of time.
Yeah, I play it on PC. Daniel.
Yeah, they do have a PC version, so I might try that out because I did play Hearthstone a lot more on the PC than I ever did on the phone once it eventually got there. My phone also didn't run it very well at the time, but it's a good looking game, and it's coming from some of the people that are developing it have pedigree from Hearthstone as well as some other top franchises.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it has potential. I'd like to see what it ends up being, and as long as it's not super gross money
and
wise.
Yu-Gi-Oh, they got some people from Yu-Gi-Oh too.
So I was filling out the thing. The survey or whatever that you do when you're filling out your registration for the beta, and they asked a lot of questions about the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. So I guess that's a big game for mobile right now. I don't know.
Yeah,
the original
I played all the
card-based games. Do you? Okay. Yeah, so that seems all right. We should see more from that later this year. And like I said, I think the beta for Android phones is happening pretty soon. So if I'm allowed to talk about that and get into it, I might talk about that. Another game that we're seeing very soon become a free-to-play game, Dominic, is Fall Guys. It was announced that it is finally making its way to the Xbox and the Switch on June 21st. And alongside that, it is going free-to-play, which isn't entirely surprising. You know, they're owned by Epic now. They did the same thing with Rocket League. So it seems pretty cool. There's also hints that they're working on a level creator. There are also new levels that are coming alongside this new season.
So it's like a resurgence, almost like hopefully. A re-release.
I'm hoping. The only thing is they are doing like a battle pass or a season pass kind of thing where there will be some stuff that's available for free, but also there will be stuff that you can pay money to get, kind of like they're doing with Fortnite. So we'll see how.
I'm just surprised,
that becomes.
Fallout, man. It could have. I remember because Jump Stephanie Sterling, they said that how Fall Guys, hey, the potential to be different ones. I mean, even Walmart. Didn't Walmart have a thing? Was it? I forgot which it was. I think it was Walmart or some other company. They had a Fall Guy in their logo, wearing a costume. And I was thinking you can see that a lot. And you didn't. It just went away. It went away. It was really high. Fall Guys was really top, and then it fell fast.
Yeah.
It fell real fast. And it didn't take advantage. I thought it was going to take advantage of the Fortnite stuff. Fortnite have characters, but Fortnite, like you said, they're human size. So not everything is a human looking character. So it doesn't. Some things won't look right in a human size. While the Fallout, you could just have him in a Captain America outfit or wearing a Spider-Man and stuff.
Something that alludes to the character. You don't need it to look like the character exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe they're hoping that this
even
is
Among
where
Us,
it's going to go.
Even Among Us don't. The ones Among Us, I think they try it. They have certain things, but it just don't look as cute like a Fall Guy.
Yeah. It's because they open up their murder mouth and shoot out their little sticky spike thing and creeps people out. Yeah. So we'll see. I really hope there is a resurgence. I hope it comes to the Switch and runs well, because I could definitely see playing that a little more on the Switch. Just pick it up, do a couple of rounds or whatever, and have a good time with that. So. All right, Dominic, in some other news, we got some news about PlayStation Plus. It came out talking about some of the games that are going to be available on that service. It seems like from the list of games, and I'm not going to get into details too much because it's just a lot of games, obviously. We're talking about a Game Pass competitor here. It seems like a pretty solid selection. You know, like if I paid the money for this, going into it expecting Game Pass exactly, no. But if I'm just looking for a way to play a large like swath of games, like I think about it as a parent, like if my daughter was of the age of playing video games, I would much rather spend the cost of like 2 games, even if we're talking about like the high end of the PlayStation Plus stuff. Your
daughter is only going to be playing Roblox, Daniel. That's all she's going to be playing.
That will be the only game that exists by the time she gets to that age.
Roblox, Fortnite, what other one is there?
That's the only Minecraft.
Maybe Minecraft.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, it's going to be Roblox is free to play, and you're going to be spending like $2,000 and shit. So, yeah, shit. But much more than like a regular console.
Identity theft. Yep. Yeah. But I just think about it as like if I were a kid nowadays and I had the ability to play, like I had the option between hundreds of games, like that would just be mind blowing, especially for like, you know, just over $100 a year or whatever, the price of a couple of games. It's just,
you know, Ubisoft Plus costs too much. Yeah, I looked up there because it costs more a month, I think, like for with the cloud.
Yeah.
Like if it costs, the Game Pass.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, why do you cost so fucking much? And I'm thinking, is there now? I didn't look at it like, what if I want to get Ubisoft Plus with the Xbox? But I don't think you can do cloud because they're not with Xbox in the cloud, right?
Right.
I don't. Yeah, because they're with Stadia and Luna. That's part of them.
Yeah. But
it doesn't advertise Xbox Cloud or even Sony. Like you would have to just download the game. And I want to play with the cloud because I want to play.
Power.
I can't play it with great graphics. Yeah, right. Exactly. And I want to play no freaking Xbox One version of the damn game. But yeah, it costs too damn much. Now some people are gonna say, well, if you get it, you can play on all these systems. But that's not worth me paying that. I'm still not worth it because I'm mostly going to play it on one.
Right. Yeah. Anyway. I'm not going to jump between. I'm playing the Xbox version today, and I'm going to play the PlayStation version next week. No, that's not the way anybody plays games, really. So, yeah, yeah. So yeah, they've got that stuff. They've got PS5 games that they're talking about coming on there. They've got Returnal. They've got Spider-Man. I think they even have the Dark Souls remaster. So they are putting stuff out there. It's just not going to be that they're launching their first party games there. Now, if the wait time between it, we've talked about it in the past, if the wait time is not that long that I can still, get it before I'm like, man, why isn't this on here? Then yeah, that'll be perfectly fine. And with this partnership with Ubisoft, adding some of their stuff on there, that's good. And they're also saying that they're going to be adding trophy support to some of the like classic PS1 games and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw Siphon Filter.
That's just fun. Yeah, that's fun. So yeah, I think Sony is pulling this together. It's still not. I'm still not going to sit here and act like it's competition for Game Pass. But I'm not gonna hate on it for what it is as a standalone product.
Like listen, what I want from them, I want cloud on my PC.
Yeah,
I want it so I can play your game because right now I can't. PS5 games aren't on the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't say that.
No,
I didn't see that. The only things on the cloud, it seemed like it's just the PS3.
Yep.
Games.
And that's just because they're forced to do that because they can't emulate them properly or whatever.
And so until they get the PS4 games and PS5 games on the cloud, Like now, if it's not on PC, but I can still play on the cloud on PS5, then that's an incentive for me to get a PS5.
Right.
But I mean, I really do want it so that I can play anywhere, like Xbox Game Pass on my phone, PC, or something, whatever. That's what I wanted. I wanted to get to that point. Like right now, I mean, this is good. I mean, this is not bad. It's just that since Game Pass, it spoiled me. They spoiled me. So now I need you to be what they are.
Yep.
You need to be what they are, not just be similar. I mean, even if you don't want to put your first party right away, that's fine because I can play but so many games at a time. I'll be patient. But I just want the option to play those games streaming and not have to have the system to play them.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I have a PS4, I can't play a PS5 game, right? Even though I have the pass,
right? Because
I would have to download it, and that sucks. Because technically, I was like, oh, I can play it, but I can't play it.
I have access.
I only can play some of them. Yeah, I only can have access to the PS4. Kind of sucks.
Yep. Yeah, and then it's not as much of a deal to you because you are literally limited from things that you could play. Yeah. So hopefully they straighten that stuff out as they get closer and are able, because they did partner with Microsoft for some of that, mostly the cloud stuff, like they're using Azure or something like that, right? So like,
yeah,
I don't know, get on there and see if they can just help you build out a streaming service too. Do something there. All right, Dominic. Now we're getting into the rumors and speculation area of this podcast.
That's what I love. That's the internet.
Yeah, that is the internet as all. So apparently earlier this year, following the Activision Blizzard kind of pickup by Microsoft, there was talk between NBC Universal and EA of actually doing like a merger, because there was talk that Andrew Wilson, the guy who currently runs EA, the James Bond villain looking guy that we see at E3 from time to time when E3 still existed, he would actually be taking up the leadership role as part of this. And Universal owned by like Viacom or something like that? Isn't there like one step above Universal? I think
the multiversal. The multiversal.
Yes, the multiversal.
Step up.
I don't think it's Viacom because that's CBS, isn't it, or something? I can never remember these companies.
NBC Universal. I forgot. I forgot. Isn't it AOL something?
Comcast. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes.
It's Comcast.
Okay.
So basically, it sounded like
who was with AOL? Who was with AOL?
Time Warner?
Years ago?
I think it was Time Warner, because they're the ones that
Time
bought.
Warner,
they bought Time Warner, and that's part of why WCW went away, because they didn't like this wrestling stuff that was losing them money. Yeah, so it sounded like the guy that's currently in charge of NBC Universal would be getting a position somewhere in Comcast up the chain, and then Andrew Wilson would come in and he would be leading the group of NBC Universal. And it's just like, that one's a weird one to me, just because of like it not being a game industry thing. It's more like NBC Universal trying to diversify their portfolio and like, okay, we got television shows and movies over here, but now we got video game division. But it sounds like that fell apart.
We get Friends the Game.
Friends the Game. Sure.
Oh, no. No, Friends is actually WB, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's on HBO Max, right?
Yeah, so we get Office the Game. Even though there is an Office game on the phone, isn't there?
Probably. There's got to be.
That thing.
Well, then now you got me thinking about like a Telltale style Friends game. Let's just get that, Dominic. So yeah, it sounds like this fell apart for any number of reasons. There was also some talk in the article that maybe EA was looking to get a similar deal in place with Disney, because then you've got like the ESPN partnership with EA Sports, and locking that down. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that would happen simply because Disney does not seem to be interested in being in the video game space. I don't know if they could acquire EA and then just continue to let them do their own thing in hopes that they would rake in cash for them. But like, also, if I'm Disney and I'm looking at what they did with the licenses that I gave them over the past decade, I'd be like, you're not going to make us money. So no, thank you.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. And then the other the other rumor I got here, Dominic, is that allegedly the Last of Us remake that we've talked about in the past is nearing completion and would come out this year. One, I still don't know why we're even talking about there being a remake of this. Like, why do we need a remake of this game? But
it doesn't.
If we're still talking about God of War Ragnarok potentially coming out this year, when does this game slot in? Like, it would have to come out earlier than that game, right? So then we're talking like August, September at the latest?
September.
Yeah.
Or maybe it'd be a month away. I don't know. I mean, maybe they feel like October and November month is enough because you get most of your sales in those weeks anyway.
Yeah. I'm still at the point where it's like, why do we need this? But also, this is my time, Dominic. I didn't play that game specifically because I was waiting for a PS5 version of it all these years. It just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, why are we doing this?
It doesn't make sense. It's not that old. It's not that old. And you just did a remaster. The game, because the way the game looks, how good it looks, you don't really need a remake of it.
No.
I mean, you already had remaster of it less than 10 years ago. Why? You just had 2. 2 is not that long. You don't need to go back. Oh, we have to remake the first one. Like it's a game that came out like 20 years ago.
In fact, I know I know 2 got like upgrades or whatever to run better on PS5, but why wouldn't you just do like a remaster for that or a Game of the Year edition or something like that for PS5 before you do this? Like,
they want to make. I guess it's for the TV show. It's for the TV show. I guess. That's what.
And I wonder if it's a remake, do they like try and integrate that a little more into the plot of the TV show? Do they mention characters who may not have been in the game but are in the TV show or something like that? Like,
I just hope it comes on PC. So I can use cheats and don't have to freaking be stealth anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, eventually, like a year and a half from now, maybe.
That was a problem. Like, I don't like things that take too long. Like I said, okay. Like, I do stealth in a certain part, but I don't want to do the whole game. I mean, I understand that's the game, but that's just not.
That's not a game you want to play then.
That's not Uncharted. And like, I want to, yeah. Like I don't want a survival game. Like have to worry about my inventory. That's what I just don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I'm with you. I was telling one of the guys at work, like he was talking about Outer Worlds and how it's like a 20-hour game, and I was like, yep, that's on like the high end of how many hours I want in a game now. Because if your game is like 40 to 60, I'm never gonna beat that game. I can tell you right now. So give me like a 5-hour.
Like you can say 40 or 60 if you do everything. If you say that, then like okay, that means I can stop somewhere where I say I don't want to do any more side quests, and I can just go to the story.
Yeah, just adulting, Dominic. Just ain't got time for games.
Yeah, because even like games like Skyrim, it's long, but if you just go to straight to the main story, it's not that long.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you just keep the path, it's actually not that long. It's just you have a lot of options to do something. So like people's game styles are all different, like because of the openness of it. Like that in Fallout, yeah, you can stick straight to the story. You'll get it done. It don't take that long.
Yeah. Yep. Very, very true. All right, Dominic. I think that's it. All I got for the week for news. Did you see anything else that you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so. Let me go to Game Informer,
sure,
real quick here and just see what's happening here.
We are coming up on summer announcement time, Dominic. We are only weeks away from early June.
So what, like the Xbox Showcase thing?
Yeah,
whatever?
Xbox Showcase I think is on, I want to say the 11th. It's probably, maybe it's the 11th. Yeah. The 11th, I think they have like the PC game shows and all those too that have been announced.
I did an article on Game Informer talking about Capcom should make Street Fighter 6 free to play. I'm going to say he can go to hell. Okay. Oh, the God of War, they showed the accessibility features. That's a lot of shit. I was looking at that.
Yeah, and that gives me hope that game would come out this year if they're talking about stuff like that. It was some real interesting stuff, though, like high contrast mode, where basically your entire character is fully red and fully blue.
Red, yeah. Yeah, because when I saw that picture, I was like, is this like, I thought it was like something like pre-rendered shit or something. I was like, oh, they must be showing how you do the game.
Yeah. Like I thought it was like hitboxes or something. Like, this is how detailed our hitbox is.
But yeah, that is cool. But I didn't see if there's an invincible mode.
No, I didn't see that. But I feel like that's almost one of those things that has to be a default now, right? Like,
it has to be a default. No,
not like a default as in it's automatically turned on, but like it has to be in there as a default.
No, I'm saying people don't agree with that.
I don't care what they agree.
Don't you do the Dark Souls? Don't do my Dark Souls or Elden Ring.
Dark Souls is the first one that needs it. First one that needs it, Dominic. Give me that.
But they say Final Fantasy VII Remake director says Square Enix will share Final Fantasy VII news next month.
I'll believe it when I see it.
News without news about telling news. Games. Like when they're gonna give news. I hate that shit. Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing. I always think the worst. Like, okay, what game I'm not gonna play on my phone. Coming in the game, I'm not gonna play. Yeah, I don't see anything else. I think I'm good.
All right, Dominic, then we got our new release of the week. There's not really much outside of this one. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song, now out on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series.
It got an 8.5 on Game Informer.
Oh, yeah? That's not bad. Because I was watching the IGN review earlier, and they were less happy with it, it sounded like. It sounded kind of boring. A little drawn out, but this is like a kind of a RPG mixed with the Telltale stuff, like of Wolf Among Us. A lot of dialogue that you're going to go through, a lot of conversations, very little combat kind of stuff, more mini games about sucking people's blood and stuff like that.
Oh, are you going some other route with that, Daniel?
Yes, I mean
like sucking people's blah blah blah.
It might be. It's the vampire underworld.
I was about to say. It's all like blood and sex. Like that's all it is.
That's what the Masquerade stands for. Yeah. So that's what we got for new releases this week, Dominic. That's about it. So you got anything else for the people?
Nah, I don't got any dick games to talk about.
All right, guys. Thank you as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStallworth5. I'm at RegulusMB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and any other place you might enjoy listening to podcasts. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see ya.